Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 23 of my Southampton series for FM16. This will be a bit of a fixture review. I've actually got a couple of transfers to go over, and then we will also be taking on Crystal Palace today in a live commentary towards the end of the episode. So, first of all, I want to go into the transfers. Of course, the last episode was pre-season, but we did do a little bit of activity. As you can see here, a couple of players went out on loan. Morales, of course, a player I brought in last season, I believe. I think it was January of last season. Looks like a pretty decent centre back. He of course got his work permit, and then he got another work permit, and he went off to Hibs in Scotland. Pretty decent team, and they'll give him first team. I think he was actually key player first team football. So I think that type of exposure in a first team. I mean, Scotland's not the highest level to play at, but I think it'll be very good just to get that first team football in a top division, and hopefully he'll develop nicely. The next player we let go of was Alex Eckhart. Of course, he's been sniffing around the first team over the last two seasons, predominantly last season. Celtic wanted him as a key player for their first team, so we decided to let him go on loan. Of course, we've got an abundance of wingers at the moment, and he's of course the inside forward on the left wing, but he can also play striker. And as you can see over at Celtic, I mean Celtic themselves have a very good training facility with a decent amount of coaches that have top quality stats where they need them. And as you can see, he's got 3 sub appearances for the Champions League. That's a pretty decent thing for him to be exposed to as well. And he's got 1 start, 1 sub appearance in the SPL, the Scottish Premiership. So not too bad. He's actually already scored 2 goals and 1 goal scored in the Champions League as well. So that's pretty crazy for him. And his value's actually gone up since going on loan to Celtic there. So yeah, he's doing quite well so far. That's basically the transfers. Didn't bring anyone else in to close the window out. Pretty much did all of our transfer activity nice and early. Had those Bosmans set up, and just brought a few players in during July. Okay, so we're getting to the fixtures now. As you can see, we are currently in 14th. As you can see by the league table down here. Not doing too well to start the season off, which is interesting because I thought we might have kicked on where we left off last season, where we had a decent amount of games, a decent run of games, I should say. We are only 2 points above the relegation zone, 3 points? 3 points, my bad. So things aren't looking too great, but to be fair, we're only 4 points off 10th, which is Chelsea, which is surprising. So it's not doom and gloom by any means. There's a few games that we should have, that we drew, that we should have won, which I'll go into in a second. But starting things off, of course, we opened the season off with a beautiful 3-1 victory, which you guys probably saw in the last episode. Followed that up with a 3-1 loss to our bogey team, Newcastle. Yeah, I mean, I never go into the Newcastle games expecting any type of result because for some reason they just play out of their skin against me. Van Dijk opened the scoring against us with an own goal. Otavio, who's a pretty decent signing for them, managed to get them 2-0 up. We got one back through Tom Aguila off the set piece, but Luis Adriano managed to get the 3rd goal for Newcastle there in the 90th minute, and they beat us once again. We bounced back, however, with a 3-0 victory over Carlisle United in the Capital One Cup second round. Zukovic opening the scoring, a Donnelly own goal, and then Nathan Redmond getting a late goal for us this time. We followed that up with a disappointing 1-1 draw. I'll show you why it's disappointing. As you guys can see, Van Dijk got sent off. 2 yellow cards in 7 minutes is pretty, it's not acceptable. It's just not for a player of his quality. Well, he's not really quality, but he does well for us. Let's just say that. Zukovic actually opened the scoring after he was sent off, but they managed to get an equaliser through Nabil Gilas. just 3 minutes later. So not the best result in the world. I mean, it was fairly even, I suppose. We went down to 10 men, and we probably played better than them still. So I was kind of a bit salty with that draw there. We then lost to Hull. The less said about this fixture, the better, I think. But Mpuku managed to get the only goal of the game. They had 5 shots, 3 on target. We had 12 shots, 5 on target, and could not get a goal. So yeah, disappointing away loss to Hull. I think they were just newly promoted this season as well. I'm not too sure about that. We then lost 2-0 to Man City. A bit of a respectable result, even though we were at home. They were the better team by far on the day. De Bruyne and Embolo on the score sheet for them there. And as you can see, they kind of had the better of the stats, apart from possession, which doesn't really mean much if you lose. We then played the Capital One Cup third round. We drew Swansea, managed to beat them 1-0. Filip Kostic in the second minute got the only goal of the game. Cho Bum-Seok managed to pick up man of the match for us there with a decent defensive display. The next game was a 2-2 draw, a game we should have actually won. I was so angry after this game because, we didn't deserve to win. I'm under no illusion with that, but it really looked like we were going to. It really did. We opened the scoring through Franco Lopez. Another thing to mention, Zivkovic actually picked up quite a long injury. I think he was out for seven or it might have been 9 weeks. So Lopez, he started a few games along with Diakate, and I think I even gave Franson a start at some stage. But yeah, Lopez opened the scoring. We then went 2-0 up through Van Voorthuizen. Dino Ferreira, who is a really good Portuguese regen, as you can see here, very good physicals apart from his jumping. And it's going to do the loading thing again. He managed to get 1 goal back for Tottenham there. And it was absolute heartbreak in the 87th minute when Nathan Redmond scored an own goal, which you guys will see in a second. Yeah, just couldn't believe my luck. I mean, I thought I was going to steal a result there, steal the 3 points against Tottenham, who were actually first at this point in time as well. Yeah, so heartbreak. 2-2 draw, not the worst result in the world. Of course, I mentioned we didn't deserve it either. We followed that up with a 2-1 loss to Liverpool at home. Pretty disappointing, I'm not going to lie. Henderson opened the scoring. We got one back through Kostic again, finding the score sheet. But then Sturridge, managed to get the winner for them. Kostic picking up a 8.3 match rating though. That's quite good to see. Quite happy to see that. The next game was a 1-0 victory over Fulham away from home. As you can see, Franco Lopez in the 92nd minute there. Kostic with another man of the match performance, 8.4 in this game, picking up the assist there for Lopez's goal. We then could only manage a 1-1 draw against Reading. This is one of the games that I told you about before. I just couldn't believe this game, honestly. Balic got the equaliser after Benteke opened the scoring for Reading there. We had a penalty 2 minutes later after that Balic goal, and Zivkovic managed to miss it. So yeah, Zivkovic misses the penalty. They have the 1 shot on target the whole game, and it's Benteke's goal. And 1-1 draw, and we have 7 shots on target and a missed penalty. Lovely. We then lost 1-0 to Manchester United. Karim Benzema in the 60th minute there. I think he absolutely tore Van Voorthuizen to shreds and got the goal there. So I eventually subbed him off. And not the worst result in the world, but if you look at the stats, we didn't deserve to lose. It's really hard to take losing against United with them getting a jammy result against us. I feel like it should be the other way around, but yeah, make of that what you will. That was actually in the Capital One Cup 4th round. I didn't actually read that properly, but yeah, we could have had a little run in the Capital One Cup, but that jammy result there has provided us with a loss and getting knocked out of the competition. And in the final game I just played was against Norwich City, another disappointing draw at home. Sacco opened the scoring. He's of course with me in my Senegal national team. And yeah, if you look at the stats, I mean, it's just typical, isn't it? Lopez got us back on level terms, but they had the one shot on target the whole game, and that was, of course, Sacco's goal. So, yeah, those two draws that I mentioned, um, both with one shot on target, one goal. We had five shots on target, could only score the one goal. And I mean, none of the defenders played very well either, to be honest. So, yeah. Van Dijk got man of the match for us. I suppose that's probably the best thing about the entire game, I suppose. And of course, that does leave us with our live commentary against Crystal Palace, who are in 16th position at the moment. So, quite an important game because we could really be flirting, I should say, flirting with the relegation zone once again. And if things don't improve, I might have to change the tactic because, I don't know, it just doesn't seem to work, and then it does. It works really well for a long time, and then it doesn't again. So, yeah. Okay, so today's lineup a little bit changed. We've got trapping goals. Mamana will start as our right centre back. Hasn't really played too much this season. Van Dijk as the ball playing defender. Van Voorthuizen as the left centre back. Sorry, Rodriguez as the left wing back. Emeterio as the right wing back. We got Wanyama coming into the starting lineup today, who will replace Hurst. I think Hurst has actually, yeah, he's suspended. He picked up 5 yellow cards so far. And yeah, that's disappointing because he's actually been our best player throughout the whole season so far. And yeah, he's really impressed me, to be honest. His stats have been improved very well. But Wanyama is solid, to be fair. We got Balic as the deep line playmaker, Redmond as the left inside forward, Kostic been quite impressive since getting some more game time. He'll be our right inside forward. And we're going to go with Lopez up front. I think we do... Oh, he might have actually picked up an injury. Yeah, he did. Forgot about that. How long is he out for? I'll have to check that, but I think he's out for 2 months or something, so that's not good. So Lopez will start. He's been in, half decent form recently, and I'm quite happy with him as a poacher up front. The bench today will consist of Chesney, Tom Aguilar, Sakai, Morrison, McCourt, Shaqiri, and Diakate. Okay, so let's get into the game, and Victor Wanyama is lacking match fitness. That's to be expected, I suppose, seeing as he actually wants first team football at the moment. And we're not really giving it to him because Hurst, as I mentioned just before, is playing extremely well. Okay. Like I said, this is a big game. We are away from home, but we really just need a win, to be honest. And we are the favourites going into it, so... Yeah, we've got to try and pull something out of our backsides, I think. And hopefully we can get the result. They've actually got quite a decent team. They've got a lot of old players that have enough quality to beat anyone, really. They've got players like Cauley Woodrow, for one. Last season was the league's top goal scorer. They've got Dembele, Mangala. Yeah, they've got quite a few decent players that are in their 30s, but can cause some damage, and they can definitely punish us if we're not on at the top of our game tonight. Redmond with a free kick. Virgil, that's 1-0. I think he's onside. Yes, he is. That's his first goal of the season as well. That's a good start. 20 minutes in, 21 minutes in, and we've gotten the opening goal from our first shot on target as well. We don't often see that, really. We see it against us, but not for us. Redmond, and he nearly gets a second there a few minutes later. So we are playing well so far. Early days. And, yeah, quite happy to see Redmond actually get an assist. Oh, and they also have Alex Cardos, the player that just got yellow carded there. He's actually a Romanian left back from, I think, Manchester United currently own him, but he's on loan at Crystal Palace for the season. I was actually quite interested in buying him before this season started, but United wouldn't really give me a proper price. I think they were like trying to negotiate, I think like 48 million for him, and obviously I'm not going anywhere near that type of price. He's a decent player. He's got a few offsides so far though. I think they might even be playing him as a left midfield today. Not too sure. But we're 60 minutes in. Nothing really has happened apart from the goal. But we are dominating possession, and that's good to see away from home. I don't think I should make a substitution here, but we are picking up a few yellow cards, and that is worrying. I wouldn't mind taking Wanyama off, and they've got a corner here. Oh, Mangala, that was off the crossbar. So we've nearly conceded already. Not too happy about that, but I'm always under the impression that I should not make substitutions because they, so often end up biting me back in the arse later on in the game. And we concede pretty much straight after I do it. Rodriguez is playing a 6.6, which is very low for his standards. He hasn't been setting the world alight by any means, but hasn't been too bad. And yeah, we one highlight, well, I think we had two highlights in the first half, and only the one highlight in the second half. That's poor, to be honest. But we got the 1-0 victory at the end of the day, and you guys definitely know that I'm going to be happy with that, despite it not being the most entertaining game for you guys to see. So that win there puts us back up into 13th, which is obviously only one position higher. But we're only 3 points behind 9th now, so definitely improving, and we need that to continue. We've got the international break coming up here, where I will take my Senegal team and do some World Cup qualifiers, which should be interesting. I think we've actually got quite a difficult group, which I might actually even show you guys once this loads. I'm doing quite well. I qualified for the African Cup of Nations, or the African Nations Cup, whatever it's called, with Senegal. I think we had Egypt in our group, so we did pretty well to actually advance there. Because I think only the top team and I think a few best placed second teams get through. So, yeah, not too bad. We got into that competition. That'd be interesting to see what we can do in it. I'm not sure if... I think there's some weird rule with it that you have to use players that are based in Senegal or based in the nation that you're managing. And why is this taking so long to load? So yeah, that's a little bit worrying thinking about that, but I mean at the end of the day, if it's going to affect us, it's going to affect every other team as well. So I guess it should be quite even judging by that standard anyway. Of course that was a decent 1-0 victory there over Crystal Palace. I've got, actually we have some very weak teams. In friendly matches, the qualifiers don't start for a while. As you can see there, they don't start until, when's that? March of next year. So we got Zanzibar and Mayotte, two very, very weak teams. But I think our group, as you guys probably just saw there, we got Nigeria, DR Congo, who are very good as well, and then Guinea-Bissau, who are probably the weakest team of the actual group. The top two, I believe, go through to the next round of qualification. No, they don't. It's only the top team. Okay, well that's pretty interesting. That might be actually to qualify for the actual World Cup. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it is. Oh wow. Okay, so we have to finish first, and we have already played a couple of games, and as you can see, we're on 4 points, along with Nigeria, who are also on 4 points. I think we beat Guinea-Bissau, and I think we drew with DR Congo, so we got Nigeria. That'll probably be our next game, is that right? Yes, it is. So it's going to be very tough. We are versing them at home though. Anyway, rambling on about something you guys probably aren't too interested in. But yeah, now Lopez is actually tied top goal scorer with Zivkovic. I find that quite interesting. And as you can see, Hurst and Van Dijk with yellow and red cards. So that's going to wrap this episode up, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. Not the best live commentary by any means, but we did get the 1-0 victory over Palace today, and that makes me happy because, yeah, recently we've been drawing games like that quite often. Anyways, guys, drop a like if you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.